Monaco is a country that has been featured in the movie Madagascar and several more movies. It is also a casino that has opened up to tourists to help stabilize the economy. It's a sovereign city-state along in a microstate along the Italian-French Riviera, and it is most known for its most known because it is the most expensive and wealthiest places in the world. And can we guess which former Hollywood starlet married into the Monaco family? That's right, Grace Kelly. Now, it is even the smallest sovereign state just after the Vatican City, and Monaco is ruled by the Grimaldi family. And there is a curse that goes behind it. Before I do that, to get to the curse, please hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Also, please help a girl out and subscribe. I can really use the subscribers. Now, what do we know? Well, we know the Grimaldi family was cursed by a witch. And if you haven't heard this, you're going to. So the Grimaldis are the ruling family in Monaco. This is the exact family that Grace Kelly married into, which resulted in her becoming Princess Grace. But the Grimaldi family, which has been the ruling family since 1297, also one of the longest monarchs in history, has suffered under a curse since the beginning. And according to the Tatler, there is a couple of different versions of how it began. Either Prince Rainier I abducted a Flemish woman who was not really happy about the turn of events and became a witch afterwards, or that the witch was being burned at the stake, whomever it was. The unhappy woman is said to have gotten their revenge by laying out a curse plainly, and it is never will a Grimaldi find happiness in marriage. Now, look at the recent Grimaldi relationship would make perfect sense to think about. And the curse isn't still in effect. Think that the curse isn't still in effect. So, while Grace Kelly and Prince Rainier III were sold to the public as a great love story, the truth was there was a lot more complicated than that, and he cheated on her with many, many women. Prince Rainier's father was gay, ended up with an unhappy marriage after 10 years, and Rainier's children fared no better. Now, Princess Caroline has been married 3 times. She was divorced after 2 years, widowed just at 33, and now separated. Now, Princess Stephanie's married twice, and will with neither union lasting even 2 years. So, perhaps taking the curse seriously, the current reigning prince, Albert II, put off marriage for a long time instead of having a few children outside of marriage. Instead of having a few children outside of marriage by a few different women. So, but the House of Grimaldi, um, is the current reigning house in the Principality of Monaco, and the house has been founded in 1160 by the Grimaldi Santella of Genoa, and has become the ruling house of Monaco, with Francesco Grimaldi captured Monaco in 1297. So, since then, the Prince of Monaco has been a member of the House of Monaco. However, since the 18th century, the princes have been agnatic descendants of other families who inherited through the female line and adopted the Grimaldi name. So by 1715, Jacques Guillaume de Montaigne married the last Grimaldi agnatic heir. He and his male line's descendants are adopting the Grimaldi name and ruled the Princess of Monaco from 1731 to 1949. And since then, the princes have been male line descendants from a polygenic family. Rainier III, the son of Pierre de Ptolemaic, inherited the title from his mom in 1949, adopted the Grimaldi name, and despite the ancient regime, the family resided in the French court, where from 1642 to 1715 they became the Duke of Valentinos. Now, the current head of the house is Albert II of Monaco, sovereign prince of Monaco, who is the son of the successor Prince Rainier III, and the princess consort Grace of Monaco. formerly known as Grace Kelly. There was even a movie about this as well. You can go and check it out. It's probably on YouTube for free, so you could probably go and check it out as well. This is not a sponsored video, just clarifying. But let's talk about the beginnings of Genoa. Let's do a brief history because we gotta really understand this, right? But so the Grimaldis descend from Grimaldo, who was a Genoese consul who lived during the time of the early Crusades. He had been the son of Otto Canello and the earliest consul of the Republic of Genoa. He has numerous descendants, led maritime expeditions of the Mediterranean, the Black Sea, the North Sea, and they quickly became one of the most powerful families in Genoa. They also feared that the head of the Genoese family could break the fragile balance of power in a coup and become Lord of Genoa. And it has happened in Italian cities. They entered the geophilic alliance with the Fieschi family. In 1271, they were banned from Genoa, and the Grimaldi took refuge in their castles in Liguria and Provence. They signed a treaty with Charles of Anjou, King of Sicily, and Count of Provence to retake control of Genoa. So, by 1276, they accepted peace under auspices of the Pope, but the civil war continued, and the Grimaldis chose to return to Genoa instead and settled in their fiefdoms, where they could raise armies. Now, by 1299, the Grimaldis and their allies launched a few galleys to attack the port of Genoa before taking refuge in the western Riviera. During the following years, the Grimaldis entered into different alliances and would allow them to return to power Genoa. Now, this time, it would be turned their rivals, the Spinola family, to be exiled from the city. And during this period, both the Gauls and the Ghibellines took an abandoned castle of Monaco, which was ideally located, and launched political and military operations against Genoa. Therefore, the tale of Francis Grimaldi and his faction, who took the castle, Monaco disguised as friars in 1297, is largely anecdotal. Now, in the early 14th century, the Aragonese raided the shores of Provence and Liguria, challenging Genoa. And everything, and only 19 Genoa's vessels survived the battle. Fearing an invasion, Genoa requested the protection of Lord Milan. Several of the feudal branches in the House of Grimaldi appeared during the conflicts, such as the branches of Antibes, Viodes, Nice, Puglia, and Sicily. Now, in 1395, the Grimaldis took advantage of the discord in Genoa and took possession of Monaco, which they ruled as a condominium. Now, the origins of today's principalities. That is the origins now. So, as was customary in Genoa, the Grimaldis organized the family ties within a corporation called Albergo. In the political reform of 1528, the Grimaldis became one of 28 of the Republic of Genoa, which included Doria, Proudlancy families, and everything. So, how did they become under the influence of the French? Well, Provence would become part of the Kingdom of France in 1486, and occasionally the Grimaldis would rely on the French support to preserve the independence from the Republic and the Duchy of Savoy. In the process, they married into the French nobility in the 1600s, inherited French estates, and often lived in Paris, later in the Hotel Matagon until the French Revolution in 1789. And Monaco and neighboring county of Nice were taken by the Revolutionary Army in 1792, where the French controlled the unit until 1815, and Nice passed back um, to the Kingdom of Sardinia in 1815, and then it was ceded back to France in the Treaty of Turin in 1860. Monaco was re-established by the Congress of Vienna in 1815 and was a brief Italian occupation from 1914 to 43. So, what about modern succession? Well, by convention, the sovereign European house is through the male line, and by that definition, from 1731, the French noble house is the Guyon Melchitine and the Princess of Monaco until 1949. However, the terms of these was becoming no, similar when Charlotte Laverne was legitimized in 1911 and made successor of Monaco. Her husband, Count Pierre de Monk, adapted as a condition for the marriage, adopted as a condition for the marriage the name and the orders of Grimaldi. But from this moment, the direct descendants of the Grimaldi would have been the Count of Polignac, and in this way the Grimaldi name and arms were continued. Now, under succession rules prior to 1911, Monaco's throne would have passed to the Prince Wilhelm of Urach, and the French president at the time, Raymond Poincaré, had threatened the throne was inherited by German France when it annexed the principality. And there's basically a treaty that goes, if the male heir refuses to, dies without an heir, the country goes back to France. But yeah, that is the Grimaldi curse. What do y'all think of it? Join me next time as we talk about the Habsburg curse. That's probably the most known compared to this one. But I'll see y'all next time.